Gary Stevens' goal. And Everton too are one of less than a handful of teams capable of staying with the blistering pace Liverpool set in the Barclays League. And to make a worthwhile race of it, it's up to those clubs to hang in there and put pressure on the powerful, professional and expensive Liverpool team. That's Everton's mighty task this afternoon in the Anfield Cauldron. Not the place for anyone with a faint heart or nervous disposition, but for a man with a cool head, like Trevor Brooking, who will now use it to predict the impossible. What's going to happen?
Well,
somebody's
trying to get me there. Nobody's got a cool head, have they? Because the atmosphere is electric. On derbies, I mean, it's always the same here. Having lost as well in the midweek, Liverpool lost their unbeaten run to the last club that they wanted to do so, Everton. It's all set, of course, for them to get revenge 5 days later, and I'm really looking forward to the game.
Well, let's have a look at the home team first, the powerful Liverpool side.
Yeah.
Comments on that?
Well, I mean, probably one surprise, I suppose. Kenny, having lost in the week, people thought that Ray Houghton might make his home debut, but Kenny's unpredictable as well, isn't he? And he's decided to give those that lost in the week another chance. And with Ray Houghton and Jan Molby sitting on the bench, there is a lot of pressure on the 11 that are going to start off.
It's an old managerial trick. Lose a game, don't make a change, let them put it right themselves.
Well, that's right. He's got so many options. I mean, Paul Walsh, Kenny himself, Nigel Spackman. There's plenty of people to come into the side. And having lost now, and I think this second opportunity, the pressure is on those lads to get a result. But it's a hard game against Everton. But I'm going to stick with Liverpool. I feel they're going so well in the league. And home advantage, lightning won't strike twice.
Well, let's look at one of the teams then who might turn the tables. Everton side, players interesting me are Wayne Clark, who's come in for Adrian Heath, who's suspended, and Ian Wilson. But first of all, the change of Clark for...
Well, I think probably Colin Harvey's a bit disappointed that Adrian got himself sent off, a couple of weeks ago up at Newcastle, because he would have kept the same side. There's Wayne Clark, who was signed at, two-thirds of the way through last season, helped them clinch the title, really. He's like his elder brother, Alan Clark, a good finisher. They call him Sniffer, and that's what they are. They're good goal poachers. I think they'll lack a little bit of mobility, perhaps, with Adrian Heath not playing. But Wayne Clark and Graham Sharp, both good in the air, might give them problems upstairs.
The player that interests me, of course, is Ian Wilson. What a lesson he is. Slightly boarding chap, number 11 there. He was given 3 transfers by Dundee and Aberdeen at the start of his career, went to Elgin City and then to Leicester for 9 years and ended up going down last season. He then found himself in the Scottish team and playing for a championship side in a championship match today. Ian Wilson. That's a lesson to all players who might be going through hard times.
Well, it's a great opportunity for Ian Wilson. He's taking it with both hands. Naturally, Kevin Sheedy and Paul Power got injured. Everton went out and they signed him, and here he is, playing very well.
Well, let's wish them all luck today, and none more than the referee there, Brian Hill. I think he's the most important man and perhaps the most unenviable man today with his linesmen, Messrs Morn and Ray. He's got to try and keep the game going and keep the flow going in a live televised match with the whole nation watching, and at the same time not let that aggression which boiled up on Wednesday night's match come to a head here today. So he's got a careful balancing act to do, and I wish him luck as I hand over now to Bobby Charlton and match commentator Barry Davis.
And the 2 youngsters will need identification. They are Gavin Elliott, the youngster with the Liverpool colours, and Stephen Linford of Everton. And the choice seems to have been Kevin Ratcliffe's. The streets of the city of Liverpool once more left to the few uncommitted. The passions of the game of the man in those streets once more centred on Anfield. It's an afternoon of salvaging pride, or perhaps Liverpool would see it as making a statement of supremacy, and for Everton the pursuit of ecstasy, because surely it would be so if they were to win here twice in the space of 5 days. Everton attacking the Kop end in the first half. And the first thoughts of Bobby Charlton.
Well, there's a terrific array of players out there, and the passion that you're talking about, Barry, is really evident. It's going to be a really tough match. And I think Peter Beardsley himself will be one that has a big bearing on the result of this game, having been criticised earlier on in the week for his performance. I think he'll want to do particularly well.
Peter Reid had an exceptional game on Wednesday. Player coach now at Everton, and he certainly led them in style in the Littlewoods Cup. Clark. Plenty of time for Gillespie, whose heel it was. The shot of Gary Stevens struck for the only goal on Wednesday. The whistle has gone for the free kick. The challenge brought a quick rebuke. The injured party is Clark. Threat to Bruce Grobbelaar's game. David Watson is up. He's just ahead of Sharp. Watson 5, Sharp 9. It was Watson who got just a brush of it, I think. Well, in fact, the referee's given a corner, which has brought the first protests of the afternoon, but they weren't too strong. Stevens, another thumped away without much thought by Aldridge. That's better. It's too strong, and McMahon carried on a little bit and caught Pat Vanden Hauwe.
The referee will have to be very careful here. There was a ball played, McMahon hit Vanden Hauwe off the ball. Referee didn't spot it. He'll have to be very careful in a very passionate game like this.
Beardsley, and as on Wednesday night, every tackle is 60-50, both ways. Nicol. And by Aldridge, look at the pace of Johnston. Didn't seem to have a prayer with that, but he made up an enormous amount of ground and has won it. And here's John Barnes. No time to settle. McMahon. Barnes again. Not goal side of Stephen. But Craig Johnston, well, he really caught the 310 down that far touchline.
Two of the fastest lads in the game there, Radcliffe and Craig Johnson.
Gillespie, being watched by the Scottish international manager Andy Roxburgh this afternoon. And a few complaints. Peter Reid warming the air. And Aldridge was the other player involved with him. Clark pushing his way behind the ball. Reid, Gillespie the back man. Sharp got his backside into him and almost put him off the jump. Reid telling Gary Stevens to throw it into the box, which he does. Watson was up again. Wilson. Stevens tried to play it early but didn't really get the length he wanted. Beardsley. Suddenly it's five-a-side. First time passes everywhere. No more than one touch allowed, it would seem. First 5 minutes have elapsed, and they've been typically frenetic for this contest. has its own atmosphere. The city of Liverpool derby. It's as sharp as the wit of Merseyside. Ratcliffe. So I should remind you that Everton's victory here on Wednesday is the first suffered by Liverpool this season. But they are unbeaten in the league. The only side in all 4 divisions to be in that position. And they have a 100% record at home, which is also unique in the league this season now. Free kick given for the nudge by Hansen and Sharp. And as usual, there is a mixture of the supporters of both sides. There's segregation in the derby match, although I doubt if too many Everton supporters would go into the Kop. That's Grobbels. Barnes. Snowden. Here for handball, but I don't think it was. Neither more importantly, but the referee. Beardsley following all the way through and just got enough of it. A little determination from him. And I think it was taken from the wrong place and indeed by the wrong team. Obviously got a nick off the Evertonian. Ratcliffe. Okay, somebody's dwelling on the ball. That's useful too to Clark, but it just ran away from him. Kevin Ratcliffe, one of the outstanding central defenders in the game of football worldwide. Johnston, quickly in with Pat Vanden Hauwe. Chase for Sharp. Cover man is Gillespie. Steve Nicol. I think it will be fair to say that Steve Nicol will not get the sort of room that he had the last time we saw him on Match of the Day up at Newcastle. Turn, but not a good clearance. Johnston. Barnes and Aldridge in the middle. Barnes is pulled away. Look for Aldridge. Whelan, that's a fine ball. Beardsley. Aldridge wants it, Beardsley wanted it more. It's a bit to prove this afternoon, and I feel that he knows it. Sharp. Stephen. It's gone. No score yet in what is the 137th derby match in league football. Liverpool just with their noses in front at 48-47. defence. Strong challenge by Watson. Sharp is offside. Sharp, top scorer in these events now with a total of 4, but over a few matches as he was prepared to concede. Goal kick.
Now that the game's tended to slow down slightly after that first frantic start, it's obvious that would suit Liverpool more. They have the type of players at the back, Hansen, Gillespie, Lawrenson, who like to build up, play it from the back slowly and play it to feet, especially on the ground. Everton, on the other hand, seem to be more suited to playing the ball up high for the tall Wayne Clark and Graham Sharp. But the more that the game slows down, I feel the benefit is going to go to Liverpool. But as it is at the moment, Peter Reid, Trevor Steven will never get the opportunity. Put the defenders, the back people of Liverpool under as much pressure as they possibly can. It's worked for the first few minutes. When it slows down slightly, one gets the feeling Liverpool will be the more dominant side.
The injured player is David Watson. He was hurt in that challenge a few moments ago in the centre circle. But there are always things for the crowd to do. Who will shout last? The debate at the moment is who is shouting loudest. It's a long delay. Derek Mountfield is one of the 2 substitutes for Everton, who is a central defender. There he is on the right. But Dave Watson, who began his career here at Anfield, certainly won't want to miss out if he can possibly avoid it, this contest. Sharp. Hansen finding it difficult again. Question of timing with the player backing into him. Ratcliffe. Watson. Snowden. Reid. Stephen. Watson. A little bit of a test for a player who's just beginning to feel his feet again after a knock. Sharp. Telegraph that, and Mark Lawrenson makes him pay by going into the hole that Stevens had left, offside against John Aldridge. The run was just too soon. The ball that Lawrenson played, I'm sure, was the right one in terms of positioning. Ratcliffe. Wilson. Everton, the left-sided player they so miss in the absence of Kevin Sheedy. He sadly spends a lot of time on the injured list, but is on his way back again. It's a good afternoon to be a photographer. Still November afternoon. Dry. Trying to play on. There was an elbow from Sharp on McMahon, who committed the first transgression. Aldridge was onside, David Watson with him. And as we look at the goalkeeper, the referee had a quick word with Steve McMahon. Score after 15 minutes if you've joined us late. I think that will go down as the worst pass of the game so far. Snowden. Stephen trying to provide width, but Lawrenson very quickly up. Long ball again, kept in by Beardsley. I don't think Gary Stevens quite meant that. Easy to say from here, but the moment that he cut inside then, Trevor Stephen, he was going to be in trouble. If he was going to find space, he had to come out and go the other way. That's a nice reaction afterwards. It's a very sharp challenge, but he may have been a little unlucky, Peter Reid. Wilson. Attack really held up by the position of the defence then. They were strung out across. And there was a fear of an offside decision.
This is a game to warm the cockles of your heart a little. What a smashing game. All competitive players out there playing to the full potential. It's very exciting to watch.
Free kick against Clark, and rightly. The use of the elbow is becoming a little unpleasant at times in football generally at the moment. By no means the worst case of it, but sufficient for the free kick. Lawrenson. Oh, he's quite often just being hit into space for the player running on. And running on here is Craig Johnston, but Watson covers. Clark. Two moments of proof that it is possible to tackle from behind. Stephen. Good cover by Nicol. Last position was interesting there. Three up for Liverpool with Craig Johnston hugging the right touchline. In front now of Steve Nicol. Bouncing a lot. Gary Stevens, scorer of the goal in the Littlewoods Cup, and just in passing, if you like to know these things, Everton have never lost in a match that he's scored. Mark you, it's taken 6 years and 11 matches in which he has scored. Can't be quite compared with the departed Ian Rush. Gillespie well played. Barnes. Liverpool being rather stultified in the middle of the field. That's the key to Everton's success in the first match. Wilson to his left, Sharp the other way. Clark in the middle. Hansen and Gillespie needing the help from each other. The blue is in the red half. Wilson is being pulled by Nicol. Saved well, and then turned over the top by Hansen. Trevor Stephen denied. There was no doubt there that Grobbelaar used his body with some effect. His hand didn't make it, but his right foot did, his right leg did, and then turned away for the corner. One of the better attacks down that left side, involving Ian Wilson. By Lawrence. There was a break on the left, but Aldridge's pass really didn't meet requirements. Stephen. Well jockeyed, well turned. Wilson far side. Johnson the cover man. Beardsley. Lawrence. Lawrence must have got the ball from that to feed on. Hasn't really been able to get into the game, John Barnes, as yet. It's no fault of his own. To Johnston. Aldridge waiting in the middle. Brandon Howe's tackle. McMahon. Now the Reds are in the Blues half. Watson ends that. Wondered about that. They knew what they were doing, but the goalkeeper wasn't in the goal, and yet the ball was passed across the face of the goal. I hope that the youngsters watching will have closed their eyes for a moment, because they may not do it quite so effectively as Liverpool. Stephen. Increasing factor in the game, Trevor Stephen. Clark. Hounded by Hansen. Reed. Came to him so sharply he couldn't control it. It was out. Good header, Barnes. Stevens will whack into the middle. It's intended for Trevor Stephen. We're 20 minutes away from half-time, and the intentions by no means always being matched by the application.
Liverpool, having had such a good start to this season, probably have not been pressurised as much as this since the first start of this campaign. But Reed, Snodden, Wilson, Trevor Stephen all closing everything down in the middle of the field, and Liverpool a little hamstrung at the moment, can't really get down and get control of it.
Lawrenson. Quickly there again. McMahon caused no fuss. Reed smiled. And the referee gets on with the game. Comes to Craig Johnston. Beardsley. Southall right on the 6-yard line, made it look easy. Reed. Hansen. Aldridge. The change, Craig Johnson wasn't wide on the right, he'd tucked back in defence. McMahon. Stevens making the pass. Liverpool required. That's nice. Got the deflection, it's an Everton throw. Bees around the honeypot. Couldn't escape. Just a glint of sunshine to Southall's left. Johnson again. We've had the first third of the contest, and it's been scoreless. There's nobody there, and a sharp play played the ball to Van den Hauwe, he couldn't really expect him to be in two places at once. Whelan. Again, Everton can find the play, and that's the result. Gillespie was offside. Good to see a player from the back trying to take advantage. And I wonder what the new boy thinks of it. Very Houghton down there next to his manager. Second derby he's watched. He didn't expect to be watching this one, I don't suppose. He was ineligible for Wednesdays. Cliff. And if there was a shout, it wasn't heard. For Aldridge. Benson and Sharp again. Again, Sharp is the more successful. Ronnie Whelan. Two to his right, two the other way. One of them is Nicol in the inside left position. Johnston. Free kick is given. Reed and Craig Johnston, the antagonists. Two Everton players were booked on Wednesday evening. And the referee on a Sunday afternoon wants passing words with the Everton player coach Peter Reid. Gillespie makes the first run. Barnes and Aldridge rather close. Beardsley. Or one by Hansen. And he is finding it, Bobby, very difficult to time the challenge with Graham Sharp, who uses his body very effectively.
Yes, he's usually quite composed at the back, especially Alan Hansen. It shows that little bit of a weakness there today, in as much as they're being pressurised much more than probably being used to. And you are going to get the odd little incidents that we had with Peter Reid, simply because it's such a frantic match.
Stephen and Barnes. Verdict through the legs of the linesman is Liverpool's way.
One thing that I will say, Barry, about the lads out there's a lot of brave players, and there hasn't been a lot of argument once they've been fouled. They've got on with it. As long as the referee makes a quick decision, they accept it, they get on and play. A lot of brave players out there, because there's been some very, very stiff tackles that they've had to play against.
Brownhill having to apply the letter of the law because the whole of the ball didn't come out of the area. But the fact that he smiled says something about his approach to the contest. And really every match in which he's in charge. This is the first time he's been in the middle for the Liverpool derby. And his son Daniel showed a nice touch. He wore a blue pullover at breakfast, and I gather now he's wearing red. That's great, from Barnes to McMahon. And where is the greatest delight? Among the participants, on the bench, or in the crowd. It was a great ball by Barnes and a lovely run by Steve McMahon. Got past three players, the pass made the gap. and McMahon found the finish. Southwell to him. It was a little bit of a nick from behind, but he really placed it well, did McMahon. So the deadlock is broken after 35 minutes. A little scuffle ensues, which probably has something to do with the fact that a goal has just been scored. Feelings of both sets of players heightened, and the goal scored by a player who's played for both sides in this contest. Steve McMahon began his career at Goodison, went to Villa and then came here. Ratcliffe up to Watson. Beardsley, offside. So much has been said about the form of Barnes. He'd had a quiet game up to that point, but he was the player who made the incisive pass. Liverpool, who've just won the first scoring award donated by Barclays. Total was then 29. It's now 30. Won by Ratcliffe. And a free kick for the challenge on him.
Well, that will tend to relax Liverpool, I would think. A super break there which beat the offside trap. Lovely ball through from John Barnes. And now Everton have to open up slightly. I think that Steve McMahon, being an old Everton player, has been one that's been really in the thick of most of the action in this particular match. He probably feels that need that he has to do something, improve something. He's been going on a lot of good forward runs, and the one that went forward, it proved really crucial and decisive. Everton, nevertheless, won't change the way they play, and they've been playing quite steadily. They've limited Liverpool to really that one chance, so I would think that they'll be really quite satisfied, although disappointed that they were just a little slow at the back for that offside.
Free kick has gone Liverpool's way. The attack was enough to bring an abrupt end to the song of "We're going to win the league." Whedon. Beardsley and Aldridge. Claimed. Breaking against Sharp. And certainly since the goal, there have been a few complaints from Everton players. Craig Johnston, even if it's not to be encouraged. Nichols cross. Barnes. No support from behind. Well met by Van den Hauwe. Minutes away from an opportunity to draw for breath. Stephen. Reed.
It's amazing what a goal will do. Now Alan Hansen seems supremely confident of every high ball that comes to him.
Overzealous. Johnston. Ball was out of play. Beardsley. Too far forward. Nicely done. Quite the header that was wanted. Wilson. Foul by Gary Stevens. Didn't throw the ball. Had no chance of doing so. Line of four forward. Barnes on the left side. Oh, the ball has to cross the line. And it clearly didn't. Stevens. Snowden. Oh, well played. He was a little unlucky because he really made the central run, looked as though he was going to try and go through, and then flicked the ball out to the left, as you saw, where Wilson had a lot of space, but the pass was just not true. Linesman says the ball stayed in. Everton came into this fixture unbeaten in 6 matches. And incidentally have one more point than at this stage last season. After 13 matches, they're on 22 than they had last season, and of course they went on to win the title. Now what Brownhill is going to allow for the stoppages. Not a lot is the answer. And Liverpool come off leading by a goal to nil, and two of the personalities coming off almost side by side. Steve McMahon, the scorer, and just ahead of him to his left, Peter Reid.
Well, those lads will be glad of the rest. It was unbelievably exciting first half. A truly great game. I enjoyed every second of it. So much commitment. They'll be glad to go in, have a little think about it, talk about it, see. Everton certainly will want to know how they can improve things. They'll have to maybe start pushing things a little bit forward, being a bit more positive from midfield. But having said that, anything can happen in this game. The one thing that did change it, where Steve McMahon went from a deep position through to beat the offside trap, and it's those little slight things like that which turn contests like this around. And Liverpool will be quite satisfied. Everton looking, I think, after the next 10 minutes to be getting stuck into it.
Well, you can say what you like. I don't think there's anywhere in the world where you can see football played at that pace. It may not be quite your cup of tea, but I think you have to admire, really, the physical efficiency and the speed of thought that really went into that first half. Not the time people used to have in the old days, but something quite different and really, in its own way, sensational. But let's take one look at the moment that turned the game in Liverpool's favour in the first half, the goal by Steve McMahon.
That's great, from Barnes to McMahon. And where is the greatest delight? Among the participants, on the bench or in the crowd. It was a great ball by Barnes and a lovely run by Steve McMahon. Got past three players, the pass made the gap, and McMahon found the finish. Southwell to him. There's a little bit of a nick from behind, but he really placed it well, did McMahon.
Well, I suppose that goal was fractionally against the run of play because Everton did start as the most composed side. And in fact, it took a splendid save from Bruce Grobbelaar. He's been criticised in the past, but it certainly turned the game today. It was a very calm and accurate Everton build-up to this. Ball along the floor all the while. A dummy there, played through beautifully first time, which most passes in the first half were. And here you can see, this is Wilson. He was held fractionally there, but still managed to get ahead. Got his cross in, through the legs. There you can see the save. I don't know whether he knew much about it, but he had a right hand there and he had a right knee. And at the end of the day, Gillespie there got it clear. So that was really a moment when they put his team back in the game. But Beardsley had chances to put Liverpool ahead, despite the fact they didn't have that much territorially. A similar move here, and when you think what Kenny Dalglish might have done, how many shots have we got of him hooking the ball in the roof of the net from that position? It needs height. You say the forwards shoot low, but in positions like that, goalkeepers are so well placed that it's only the height that will do it. You'll see it again here, only this time it's his right foot. Actually had 3 shots in all in a game without many there. You see a little half volley chip at the inside of the foot. Height would have scored in the goal there. So that was a moment when they might have taken the lead in that match. But Trevor, in general, are you happy with your selection and the form of your team, Liverpool?
Well, for the first half an hour, to be fair, Everton did control the game. They won it in the midfield. I mean, Peter Reid, who's been reacting a little bit stroppily on a couple of occasions, but he was really geeing everyone up in there. Ian Snowden alongside him. They closed down the space. Trevor Stephen out wide, made a couple of good runs, got in at the near post, which Bruce's knobbly knee saved the day. But, I mean, they were certainly the 4 in midfield, Ian Wilson on the left, who were controlling it. Then they got the goal. It was a perfectly timed run from Steve McMahon. And then for the last 10-15 minutes, we had 1 or 2 heated sessions. Here the goal. As I say, a lovely flick, the outside of the foot. Steve McMahon in 2 minds coming through. I think he's going to play it there. Neville lays down and then changes his mind. And a toe-end lifter, which goes into the roof of the net. But he kept his composure very well. It's really the way to break down Everton's. They play so flat, they play the offside trap, and you have to have midfield layers running like that. But it's got to be timed perfectly, and that one was. And a great pass from John Barnes, but it was really the only opportunity I think John Barnes had of a bit of space, because really it's been 1 and 2 touch, hasn't it?
Lovely, 1 and 2 touch indeed. More from you, I hope, in a moment. But let's go and join a man who I think has some news from Scotland today, Bob Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy. The news from Scotland that we have is that England internationals Chris Woods and Graham Roberts, both of Rangers, of course, and Celtic's Frank McAvenny were charged in Glasgow at lunchtime today following incidents at the recent Rangers-Celtic match. Now, they were charged at Govan Police Station with, and I quote, behaviour which could have led to a breach of peace within the ground. Now, we understand that investigations are continuing into circumstances relating to Terry Butcher, the Rangers captain and the England centre-half. Let me remind you that Woods, Butcher and McAvenny were all sent off in the Rangers-Celtic match 2 weeks ago, and today's developments follow a report to the Procurator Fiscal. But from that serious news, let me turn to a man who's played in one or two Merseyside derbies. Now, I don't know, Ray Clements, whether you're here as an old Liverpool goalkeeper or as the assistant to the assistant at Tottenham.
Yeah, it's something like that. No, it's actually a family visit, and it's great to take in a match like this, obviously.
What do you think of the game so far?
Well, it's a typical derby, isn't it? I mean, it's fast, it's frenetic. A great atmosphere here, as there always is in the derby, and I think that it's the lads that are new to derby football are probably the ones that find the pace a little bit hot at the moment. It's obviously very difficult for players to put their foot on the ball, and I think actually that the goal that arrived was the first time that John Barnes had actually had time on the ball, and the first time he'd really come inside and play a delightful ball through.
How important is it in the local rivalry to win these games? It was Everton the other night, obviously, in the Littlewoods Cup, and obviously now Liverpool have got their nose in front. How important is it?
Well, it's not everything, but to some fans it's probably everything, but it's certainly more important for each of these teams to get a win to have a chance at the championship. I think the marvellous thing in these games is that, you know, if you look down the Kop end, we've got nearly a third of the Kop which is Evertonians, and there's no police line in between either of them, and it's just good banter between the two sets of fans, and that's what makes it such a marvellous occasion to be at.
Can I ask you a final question really about Tottenham? It wasn't very clever yesterday. I was at that game, but the situation at the moment?
Well, obviously it's been a traumatic 9 or 10 days in terms of we've had 2 changes of management so far. Now Dougie Livermore, who I've known for many, many years, is in charge at the moment. Ozzy is assisting him, and I'm assisting Ozzy. So it's we know we've got a lot of work to do before Terry comes, but we'll just try and keep the team going. We've got a good atmosphere inside the club there, with us all working together. We'll try and keep us up there somewhere and hope that Terry can take the reins and lead us on from there.
It could be the start of Ray Clements' managerial career.
You never know. It's a funny old game. Who said that?
Thank you very much, Ray.
Oh, well, bad news from Scotland, but good news generally today for clubs. Gates are up by over 50,000 on last season with 2 less games played. Even better, the average goals per game figure is 270 as against 2.68, which getting that back to the magic 3 goals per game might help solve many of football's problems. And Liverpool played their part by winning the Barclays Goal-Scoring Award for October with 29 goals. And this afternoon, Trevor, have put one in for November.
Yeah, I should think they're very relieved to get one. I mean, today goals are at a premium because defences are dominating, they're closing the space down. And of course now, I'm pleased we've got the goal though, because it will hopefully break up that second half. While it was 0-0, always going to continue to be frantic. Now, hopefully, and I'm sure Colin Harvey and Peter Reid, of course, is on the coaching side, they're going to have to say to him, look, the longer the half goes on, we've got a chance around a bit more, because they're, I think, 6 points behind Liverpool, 3 games more. They can't afford to lose this one and give Liverpool another 3 points.
Well, the shot total is in Liverpool's favour that half. They've had 5 shots against Everton's 2, and at some stage we have to pick the Barclays man of the match during the next 3/4 of an hour or so, Trevor. So put your mind on that. I won't ask you now, but at home people might like also to make their selections and see at the end whether they think we are idiots or not. But there it is. It's been a marvellous first half, electric in many, many ways. Let's hope the second half lives up to that standard as we rejoin Bobby Charlton and Barry Davis.
Looking at one of the 2 of the players that can't get into the team at the moment. These are the players who can at Liverpool, who, if they win today, will equal their record of season 78-79 when they started with 10 wins and 1 draw. They've got to go back a little bit further than that, to the days of Billy Liddell and Bob Paisley, when they went 19 games unbeaten in season 49-50. Colin Harvey will have earned his corn in the dressing room. That's where managers are judged. There's Inchie Heath, who's missing today. And Bobby Charlton talking during the half-time interval, had a particular point to make about the quality of McMahon's finishing.
Yes, it's quite often when a player goes through completely on his own and the goalkeeper lies out flat, to make the target smaller. It's very often that the forward actually trying to keep it low hits the goalkeeper, and it took a little concentration by Steve McMahon in that instance to just lift it across the goalkeeper. It's something that any striker should practice doing, because it's a thing that they don't often do.
I would think another plus, Bobby, was the fact that his standing foot was being whacked at the time. So Liverpool, a goal to the good, playing their favourite way in the second half towards the Kop end. Nickel. First free kick of the game is against Graham Sharp, or the second half rather is against Graham Sharp. Two teams met 6 times last season, and Everton didn't win one of them. They won the championship. Barnes, good header. Aldridge. Good pass with the head from John Barnes. Aldridge has scored in every home league match. Really, on that occasion. Not a particularly good goal kick. Clark. Ronnie Whelan. To dispossess him. Barnes. Still got 4 to take on. Reed. Johnston. Ronnie Whelan. Beardsley. Oh, there was a gap there, but he played it to Barnes instead, who's offside. Certainly a little gap there, Bobby, that he might have gone through, but easy to save from up here.
Yes, he's good at that, Peter Beardsley. He attacks defenders, commits them, and that dangerous situation around about the edge of the box, you know, there's always a possibility they might get something. But talking about John Barnes, having a fantastic season, really. One of the great things about him is that he takes very, very little time to get the ball under control. This gives defenders very small opportunities to actually get in with the tackles. Very close, his close control is really quite exceptional.
Ashby conceded the free kick. The Everton captain is going to take, Kevin Ratcliffe. Not one of his better ones. Beardsley, and I think that in the end the foot in the chest was inadvertent. It's a different angle.
Peter Beardsley's got some bruised ribs there, I think. Now, Dave Watson, a little silly. He was pushed in the first place. Obviously, the referee had to blow and penalise Beardsley, but for somebody to take retribution like that, you know, is a rather silly situation. He'll be sorry that he did it, because it's important that Everton keep their composure if they're to get back in this match. Peter Beardsley, nevertheless, very brave, very competitive, you know, even for his size, you know, wasn't intimidated by big Dave Watson. Unfortunately, paid the ultimate penalty, you know, with pain.
Watson and Beardsley again. Sometimes Peter Reid's mind and actions are too quick for his teammates. Looking for Craig Johnston. Not quite wide enough. Watson and Beardsley once more. McMahon. Vanden Haar. Stephen. Reid, he's got a bit of space. Stephen. Got a man over, it's Wilson. He has to scurry for it. Gillespie at the back, McMahon. Weren't entirely together then, Everton. There were doubts as to who was going to do what and why. Ball curled out. Kenny Dalglish, the manager, on his feet. One of the local radio stations yesterday was commenting on the quality of players who were not going to be selected for this contest. Amazingly, they left out Kenny Dalglish himself. Free kick for the obstruction. Rightly against Clark. Again, Ioba. And it earned a few sharp words from Brownhill. Lawrenson. Played it on first time. I think one or two around him expected him to hold it. challenge with Sharp. Everton have 3 in a line with the far post, the 3 we're looking at there from the corner flag. Stevens. It came off Nicol. Proved to be a fairly sharp back pass. Ten minutes gone. And the scorer of the only goal was the player who made the header there, McMahon. Stephen. Reed goes ahead. Sharp goes to the middle, so does Clark. Stephen. Once again, there are a pack of red-shirted players around the man in possession. It's rather the other way on Wednesday, and it was at the start here. Looking for Barnes. Harry Stevens under some difficulty to get the height, but made it. Tremendous applause for McMahon. It was well telegraphed. Reed, Ratcliffe, Vanden Hauwe. Snowden goes forward. Play continues because Everton kept possession. Snowden. Free kick against Whelan.
Good little spell this for Everton. They've just started winning control in the middle of the field. Peter Reid going forward. On the ascendancy. Of course, Liverpool have the time and they have the goal. Nevertheless, little pressure for them.
3 on the far side again. Stevens behind to back them up. Here's Stevens. Still 5 waiting. And the whistle goes for a free kick to Liverpool. Vanden Hauwe's shot was a photograph only for a photographer who was hit by it. The verdict was not clear to me, but Mr. Hill was right on the spot. Wilson needed a slightly better first touch. Gillespie. Mistake by Whelan. Snowden is going across. Can he balance himself? No, he couldn't. Trevor Stephen. It's a goal kick. The deflection was off the Everton player. Good play by Snowden. The final shot, they're producing the goal kick.
if Snowden had been an out-and-out striker, he would have took a pot at that. Hesitated, wanted to try and make sure, and the opportunity was gone.
Reed. This is good stuff from Everton. In the presence of such a great goal scorer, Bobby, you'll pardon the comment that I'll make, that midfield players should be able to score goals too.
They should indeed, but it wasn't natural to him.
And in fact, one has in this match. Steve McMahon from midfield, and his goal divides the teams with an hour of the contest having elapsed. Johnston. Offside. And the packed house at Anfield, 44,760, which is the best gate here this season by 400. And some 700 up on the meeting between these two sides on Wednesday evening. And also then an extra crowd watching the match on screens at Goodison Park. Today those screens will be all around the homes of Liverpool. And we hope a few other places in the country too. Nickel. Johnston. Whelan. Give it to me, says Grobbler. Barnes got his body in front again. To Beardsley. Good play. The flag is up. The flag is up. It will not count. Aldridge, the player who put it in, but the flag was up. Even so, a moment that Peter Beardsley will have enjoyed, because he showed the sharpness that he's been struggling to find of late. Really whipped away from his man, but Aldridge just at the bottom of the picture there moved just too soon and was rightly given offside. Clark, Stephen in the middle waiting for it. Shielded by Beardsley. Aldridge, Stevens to the rescue.
Obviously, the longer the game goes on, Everton have to push a little bit forward, and it'll give them the opportunity, the Liverpool forwards, to maybe pick up something. I would think Beardsley in that respect, because he's, I think, just that little bit sharper than Aldridge.
Free kick against Hansen. Watson is forward again, alongside Sharp and Clark. Wilson on the near side as we look. Well, that was all a bit academic, that information.
Certainly haven't slowed down since half-time, Barry. Fast as it's ever been. What a terrific advert for our game, this.
Played by Gillespie. He's a little extra height in comparison with Alan Hansen. Gillespie has just got into the Scottish team, maybe last month. Gillespie it was there again. Whelan took his eyes off it. Brave header by Wilson. And the free kick given because he caught the clearance, the ball that never came. He was kicked straight in the side there, and I would think that hurt more than a little. Well, would you know from that shot who is winning? Flicked on again by Sharp. In comes Wilson here, but clearly he hadn't been seen. Well, the foot was up, actually. The foot was up by Nicol. Foot was clearly up by Nicol. And he may well have earned the reprimand from the referee. The angles can give you eyes everywhere with television these days. Stevens. Snowden. Spinning top was called Nicol. Thought Gary Stevens was going to really tempt fate then by hoping for a second goal in a week here. But Everton keeping on the pressure. Great challenge by Whelan. Watson and Aldridge. Back come the Blues. Everton ball. Barnes. Good challenge by Stevens. Sharp. Trevor Stephen got a deflection and was well saved. We've reached the halfway point of the second half. And Liverpool's 1-0 lead looking a little precarious. Watson up, so was Hansen. Craig Johnston, but not there, surely. I think Craig Johnston might get his leg pulled about that one and got away with it. The curls were facing the wrong way. Wilson. Wilson again. Not a chance. Goal kick given. There was just a gentle lean on by Gillespie. Fans. Oh, lovely back heel. McMahon, Aldridge, good challenge. Beardsley! Oh, that's a lovely goal. That's a lovely goal. No hesitation there. He really flashed at that. And it flew in. Oh, and he gets a kiss for it. From a man incidentally wearing a blue striped shirt. Look at this back heel. This is magnificent. McMahon, Aldridge makes the first run, number 8. He's challenged by Ratcliffe. And no hesitation at all on the part of Beardsley. That will do his confidence an enormous amount of good. The first goal in the 35th, the second goal in the 70th. Liverpool lead 2-0. And I think it has to be said, a goal coming rather against the run of play.
Yes, it was. But only a player like Beardsley could score a goal like that. Just hit it on the drop, took a chance. He didn't. It's only a split-second opportunity, and it worked for him.
Snowden. He had his chance at the other end, perhaps, and hesitated. Stories going around Liverpool this morning that Kenny Dalglish may leave Beardsley out of the side. Flag is up. The free kick is Everton's. The determination supreme belonged to Reed, who turned with a snarl, changed to a smile, and ended with an embrace. And there's only one Peter Beardsley as the crowd. It must be music to his ears. Stevens, Wilson. Nicol didn't get it right, and you could say that the Liverpool defence wasn't entirely together, and it ended with Gillespie getting Grobbelaar's finger in his eye.
The way that Bruce Grobbelaar was calling Roy Evans, the trainer, over was, I think, that he's probably cut. He immediately called to the trainer's bench, so it suggests he might have a little cut there. I think he probably punched him accidentally.
Really in a bit of a mess at Everton. Nicol's header, which was no help to anybody on his side, and then Gillespie and Grobbelaar both determined to take charge. Gillespie ended it as a sufferer. We'll have a bloodshot eye tomorrow. And as he gets attention, we can look again at the goal. Here's Aldridge, got in front of his man. He was blocked though by Ratcliffe, and the reactions of a goal scorer were first class. Peter Beardsley. Gillespie has recovered and is ready for the challenge of Everton's second corner of the match. Reed, he's been every bit as determined as he was on Wednesday. Brandon Howe. Barnes. Referee played the advantage, which didn't accrue because of the speed of Snowden. To the populace, they've just shown you. Clark, power at all, and again a good spirit. Two players get up from the challenge. 15 minutes left. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. And Liverpool here at Anfield this season have scored 2, 3, 4, 4 and 4 in their home matches in the league. They've also scored 4 on 2 occasions away from home. Watson. Clark. I think Trevor Brooking's pre-match comment has been borne out. Heath has certainly been missed, his mobility and at times his sharpness of touch. Stevens. Well, it was near. Goal kick. This time there was no deflection. But it might be said he struck it rather better than the one that scored in the Littlewoods Cup, but that, as they say, is football. John Barnes, hugely involved in both goals. Offside, Beardsley and Aldridge. Sharp, Stephen, Reed took it well, but had to go such a long way around, including around the photographers. Just a quick reminder of the score from the Clough end. Another good goal kick. Stephen. Some of Steve Nicholls' clearances have been not quite the quality one expects from him. Goal kick. Reed yet again. Good play by Hansen, who just stood the ground and said, "You're going to have to get round me." And it was a slightly hopeful poke forward in the end by Peter Reed. Brackley. Brandon Howe. Wilson. Reed. Stevens did well to make that. If Barnes had collected it, Everton would have been in trouble.
very difficult to see what Everton can get out of the game other than keep going forward. The thing is that Liverpool now have the bit between the teeth, they're confident, they find that little bit of extra time at the back. They'll waste whatever time is left whenever it's necessary. And of course, Everton having to come forward may just leave the odd gap which Liverpool might expose. Having said that, it's been an absolutely superb match and still not finished yet. Who knows? Everton, the type of team with the type of commitment, if they could get a goal, could get back into the game. And now substitution.
Everton to make their substitution. Derek Mountfield coming on to replace Alan Clark, not Wayne Clark, I should say, the younger member of the Clark family. And Mountfield has 10 minutes to play before he can think about celebrating his birthday tomorrow. And he's being played as a forward to, as they say, put himself about a bit. Really what Everton could do with is a few set pieces, corners around the box, because Mountfield is very adept at getting his head on the end of them. Aldridge battling to maintain his personal record. Total has only failed to score in 3 of 13 before today, but they include the last 2 matches. Nickel. Wilson. Won by Sharp. Reed. Derek Mountfield down that right side. On to Trevor Steven. Plenty of men forward. One is Wilson. He took the moment to look up to see what was on to. That's real quality. Trouble for him was that there wasn't much up, which is why he changed the angle. He's got another chance, but he's offside.
When John Barnes is in this type of form, it's quite scintillating actually. Not only has he got this terrific close control, but he's got that pace over the first few yards, which is quite electric. Of course, in these sort of situations, when they're a little bit short of space at the back, Everton, you know, are going to be exposed by people with these qualities. Had a truly terrific season.
That's a corner. Derek Mountfield moves to the middle. Dave Watson forward as well, so John Aldridge has come back. Robillard comes for it. Makes it look so easy. Which for a goalkeeper of his class it was. Nickel. Whelan. Reed. He and McMahon have had a tremendous scrap. They both played supremely well. It might be argued that this man has been able to prove more, and that was not a nice challenge. And the referee has words. Pulls them both together, McMahon and Snowden. At times the challenges have been harsh, but what has been very good to watch is the way players have got up and got on with it. I think that would set an example around the league, because sadly it's not always true these days.
Not a lot of petty gestures either, Barry, which has been good to see.
Oh dear. I tell you what, if they lit a fire in the middle of the field, Peter Reid would run through it. Snowden. Determination from Beardsley and Reed. Oh, foul by Whelan. There will be a few cuts and bruises to be looked at after this one. Ratcliffe. Outfield didn't make it. Guess who's chasing? Reed. Stephen. Good play by Barnes. Look how far Southall is out of his goal. Every metre counts. 3 minutes left. And it looks as though the contest between these two in the space of 5 days is going to end with one victory each. The first one to Everton, putting Liverpool out of one route to Wembley. This one increasing the gap at the top in the Championship. I suppose these days we can correctly say 3 more points in the bank. Beardsley runs right, Aldridge waits to run left, goes now. And 2 for company. Beardsley once more, Aldridge. Good closing of the legs in the nick of time by Watson. Brandon Howe. Wilson. Back inside for a cross which will disappoint him. Reed. Sharp calls for it. Can he use it? No, he can't. Barnes loses out. It's a good turn by Stevens. And clearing header by Whelan. Determination and running to the finish is also something to be hugely commended.
Yes, without falling foul of the women's liberation movement, it really has been a man's game. And I think it's been absolutely super. And it's always a pity when you see so much effort and get nothing out of it. And I suppose that Everton can get back into the game with a goal here. It's going to be a little late for them. But having said that, all the teams that have been wondering whether Liverpool would slip up again, you know, have to be a little disappointed. I think, myself included, trying to be as neutral as I can this afternoon. Must admit that Liverpool are very, very formidable force, and will take some stopping.
Corner. We're deep into the last minute. as though we're going to end up Liverpool on 49 and Everton on 47 in League Derby victories. Babala. Brian Hill takes one look at his watch and brings a pulsating game to its conclusion, in which he played his part very effectively indeed, allowing the play to run. Steve McMahon, scorer of the first goal, and a fine performance all through. Peter Beardsley with a spectacular second. John Barnes involved in both of them, and the two great teams in the city of Liverpool have each had a victory this week. Colin Harvey going away disappointed, Paul Bracewell so missed, still at Everton following him. And some very weary players are mounting the steps past the sign, "This is Anfield," and those words continue to say so much to the rest of the teams in the First Division.
Well, there's the table with Liverpool proudly on top, 31 points, leading by 2 points from Arsenal with 2 games in hand. There's a long while to go yet, but what we should be grateful for, I think, was that this was a real local derby with none of the nastiness, really, of last Wednesday night. It was just what it should be. And now let's pick the man of the match. He's down there talking to Bob Wilson, and there he is.
Steve McMahon, congratulations, the Barclays man of the match. What was it like out there?
Oh, it was frantic, absolutely frantic. I think it was even worse than Wednesday night.
But it is just the result that you need to restore confidence after the Littlewoods goal.
Well, yes, we knew we had to win this one to save a bit of pride for ourselves and the supporters.
Do you see anybody beating Liverpool in the league?
Oh, Christ, yes. I think everyone was saying we were unbeatable before Wednesday, and we knew that. It's probably impossible to go a season without getting beat. And Everton turned us over Wednesday, but I think we've got our own backs today.
Thanks very much. Well done again.
Thank you.
Well done, Steve McMahon, and Liverpool and Everton too, because they really made a game of it, and to the referee, Brian Hill, for keeping the match in the perspective in which it should be. So it's a happy occasion, really. It was graced by 2 beautiful goals, well carved out, well conceived. Let's have a look at those now.
That's great from Barnes to McMahon. The greatest delight among the participants on the bench or in the crowd. It was a great ball by Barnes and a lovely run by Steve McMahon. Got past 3 players, the pass made the gap, and McMahon found the finish. Southwell to him with a little bit of a nick from behind, but he really placed it well, did McMahon. Barnes. Oh, lovely back heel. McMahon, Aldridge, good challenge. Beardsley! Oh, that's a lovely goal. That's a lovely goal. No hesitation there. He really flashed at that. And it flew in. Oh, and he gets a kiss for it. From a man incidentally wearing a blue striped shirt. Look at this back heel. This is magnificent. McMahon, Aldridge makes the first run, number 8. He's challenged by Ratcliffe, and no hesitation at all on the part of Beardsley.
Just sitting here glorying in that delightful back heel there of John Barnes, Trevor. You at your best?
I mean, I think John Barnes had a super game because he was the one person perhaps that on occasions had time, and that was at a premium today, and he just, those little back heels, he was handing both goals as well with Steve McMahon. But I mean, Steve McMahon, I think, got the man of the match primarily because of the terrific battle he had with Peter Reid. I mean, and he also broke the deadlock. I mean, I felt a bit sorry for Everton in the second half. They had a lot of pressure. Again, repeated really the first 45 minutes. And for 25 minutes, they looked as if they were going to get an equaliser. Then Liverpool broke Great move, as you say, the back heel went across, and Peter Beardsley hit a shot on the turn well, on his left foot as well, because it's not his strongest foot, and I should think he'll be reliving that one for a few weeks.
He has not seemed to settle in as quickly as most people thought at Liverpool. In fact, the thought was his place was under threat. So that was a relief for him.
I think yes, it would take a lot of pressure off Peter, because one always makes the comparisons with his England displays, Gary Lineker and Peter Beardsley. He's settling in. I think it's nice to see him on a couple of occasions, the little swivel hips that he's so good at, taking people on, and that really I think is what will lift him and the crowd. When he goes past people, that is his strength. And I'm looking forward, perhaps after that goal, which really you're going to take some beating to get a better goal than that this season. I think that will give him the confidence really now to show the Anfield crowd what he is capable of.
Yeah. The Everton side, with a lot of injuries, we've seen them a couple of times this week now, and obviously very powerful, but somehow not quite managing to put together the run that they want in the league to close the gap.
Yeah, strangely enough, they've lost 2-0, but that's the best probably I've seen Everton play this season. They were really competitive in midfield. I thought they were the strongest side. Perhaps up front, as I say, I think they missed Adrian Heath, just that little bit of mobility.
Yeah. What about the other contenders for the Championship? I mean, you and I know, and Liverpool know, that it's not over, because no Championship is, in the first 10 or 11 or 12 games. But do you see them crumbling? Do you see any weaknesses there?
I mean, I thought it was a vital game for Everton to try and get something from, because now they're 9 points behind, 3 games as well. It's a lot to catch up. Because Liverpool aren't going to sort of crumple like other teams. I personally think Arsenal and Liverpool are the two really to beat. Man United, Nottingham Forest, are doing very well. They drew yesterday, but I feel those two sides, Arsenal in particular, are so difficult to beat. I mean, yesterday, to all intents and purposes, they didn't play well, got a late winner, now 11 consecutive wins, but their defence is as miserly as anyone.
Yeah. So, really, you are saying, having predicted Liverpool to 2 wins, actually, this season, I
think that beats my total for all the last season.
Yes, I don't wonder what's wrong, but there you are. We hope that it'll come again in future Sundays. But do you really not see anybody good enough to close that gap apart from Arsenal? I think Spurs probably have disintegrated temporarily, shall we say.
The thing about Liverpool is that now their depth of squad, that we were mentioning it earlier, I mean, Kenny Dalglish, you can't see him using himself, but I mean, Jan Mulby, Ray Houghton on the bench today, Nigel Spackman could come into midfield, John Walker, though he seems as if he could be on his move to another club. It really, Paul Walsh up front, it really means that even if they get a couple of injuries, they've always got people capable of coming in and doing a good job, and so I can't see him having that disastrous a run. They're going to lose games like they did in midweek in the Cup, but the quality of any Liverpool side has always been they'll come back and bounce back the next game as they did today, really.
Are you really happy that that situation exists, or would you like to see football slightly different with more?
Well, I think we're developing a little bit, almost a mini Super League in the league itself. At the start of a season, over 40 league games now, you can, I think, pick, 4 or 5 clubs who are going to win the championship. The cup games are a different cup of tea, but consistency, week in and week out, unfortunately, perhaps from some point of view, because it does mean that you are creating that little elite band.
Well, interesting words there. Thank you very much indeed, Trevor. Well, that was it this afternoon. The changing face of football here, the change of face in football in the First Division, and the changing face and the speed at which the game is played these days. We had an example of that this afternoon. Well, there's football on BBC again on Wednesday night. Hope it's as good. It's action from Europe and from this country. That's in Sports Night at 10:20 on BBC One. So we end an exhausting and exhilarating afternoon at Anfield, both on and off the field, with a glorious goal fashioned from the artistry of Barnes and finished lethally by Beardsley. Good news for top of the table Liverpool, and for England, with their vital game in Yugoslavia just around the corner. Good afternoon to you from Anfield.
Barnes, lovely back heel. McMahon, Aldridge, good challenge.